Season 5, episode 48 with me, the Broken Bottle Boy here on Twitch. It's a 3-4 paper show. We've got The Sun, The Times, The Daily Mail, and The Daily Telegraph. An absolute shit show of British media appallingness. Hello, Mark Kenosis. You don't have COVID. That is good news. Touch wood, other people don't too. But good to see you. How's it going? What's occurring? Yeah, as you can see, we're going to start with The Sun, then we're going to move on to The Telegraph for a speed round, a flapping, flailing, page-throwing speed round. Then we'll be on to The Times, and finally, The Daily Mail to really curse us out for the rest of the afternoon. Right, let's get going. Mark Kenosis has a burning desire to redacted Dan Hodges.
That usually means fuck.
No, a longer redaction. Okay. I can categorically say Mark doesn't want to fuck Dan Hodges. Here is a person in the room. She is going to go and have a meeting now. Hello. Right, this is The Sun, front page of The Sun. Lady goes gaga for Gucci. Yes, Lady Gaga is in a Gucci film. She was at the film premiere. There is the picture of it. Top right-hand corner, you can get The Sun delivered free to your house for 6 weeks. But really, if you want to shit on your own doorstep, you could do that for free. The main story is Price breaks silence. Katie, I could have killed someone. Luckily, she didn't. Of course, The Sun covers this in the most... oh, God, they are... The encoding is overloaded. How the hell? Nothing... It wasn't encoded... How's that happened? Good day, Bunga Bunga fans, says Gonzo Socialism. Right, anyway... The Sun covers this in its most unpleasant way with drink, drive, smash, regret. Hello, Neon Lady. How are you? Hello, hello, Panic Future. They're all coming. Good work. Good to see you. On page 3, that isn't page 3, but is page 3, it's Hailey Bieber wearing agent provocateur underwear because she is now the face and presumably body of agent provocateur. Is it, or is that... No, sorry, I don't want to say agent provocateur. It is, in fact, Victoria's Secret. I regret the error. She's become an angel for them. Woman wears clothes. Exactly, Gonzo Socialism. Good afternoon, Red Tickseed. How are you? On pages 4 and 5, court hears bombshell claims by close ex-aide in the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, case against the Mail on Sunday. Apparently, I still reckon the Mail on Sunday will lose that case. On page 7, Katie's drink, drive, torment. I'm lucky to be alive, she says to The Sun. On page 9, Gaga drop dead sexy. Again, woman wears clothes. And a horse attack, Miss Axe, suspended by school. She's not axed, she's been suspended. Right. Victoria's Secret is Les Wexner, Jeffrey Epstein's best mate. Yes, indeed. Kim Marsh gets involved in War Christmas, saying, wear a poppy to show pride in heroes, past and present. Her husband is, of course, a serving soldier. On page 11, crisis for the elf service. A lost clause. Grotto grief as Santa shortage hits shop. Jesus Christ. And also, David Beckham made a picture of a Christmas tree by kicking paint-covered footballs at a canvas. That, again, is a promo thing for something. Apparently, bounties are the least liked chocolate in celebrations. I don't agree. Mark Kenosis was shopping at Victoria's Secret, and the shop assistant leaned over to me and whispered, "The secret is chlamydia." On page 13, word to your mothers, Pablo Bonzo. Good afternoon, Ritik and Heathmore, 2401 as well. Jane Moore says, Clio trolls have slithered under a rock for now. Jane Moore, writing in The Sun, should know a lot about trolls. The Sun is the biggest troll employer in Britain. On page 14 and 15, Will Smith said he wanted to have a harem after he temporarily split with Jada but realised if he couldn't please one woman, he couldn't please 25. Yet more anti-bounty propaganda, says Rectixie. Good afternoon, the Research Arena. How are you? Pablo Bonzo. Why do Geordies love coconutty chocolate bars? Well, they're bounty. Mark Canosis. Cleo trolls. People were trolling Geds' dog. Let's say that's right. Chocolate in the fridge is just wrong, says Shrines. Gonzo Socialist and those wretched paper t-shirts. Talking about the secret is Epstein didn't kill himself. Yeah, very famously sensitive hyaloid bone. Accent may be required. Yeah, I can't do a Newcastle accent, I'm afraid. Rashford has got an MBE. His mum is proud. Happy Pew year. A guy has made a calendar of benches in Redditch. A pint at the opera. There's a Wetherspoons. It's in a former opera house. Absolute PR thing. Abby Clancy wore clothes. Apparently there's going to be sharks in the Thames, and that's good news. Want to be a Strictly champ, work at the BBC. That's the conspiracy theory they're pushing. Nigella says she was cooking once for Salman Rushdie. Her oven exploded and Special Branch stormed in thinking he'd been attacked. Drug shame sprinter Dwayne Chambers is going to be on the next Who Dares Wins SAS thing. Who do you think you are? Last night was Pixie Lott. Elsewhere in the TV recommendations tonight, Between the Covers, Sarah Cox returns with the book review show, 7:30 p.m. Walking with Kate Garraway, title of the series. It's been already screened in some regions. She just walks to different locations. The Great Rickshaw Relay Challenge is on BBC One at 7:30, and Live at the Apollo is back at 10 p.m. on BBC Two. How did sharks get there? Their water quality's improved, basically. They're not like big sharks. They're much smaller sharks. Is that Tunbridge Wells? Fanciest Wetherspoons I've ever been in. Yeah, Wetherspoon harvests the drips from Satan's Todger, says Gonzo Socialism. In Dear Deirdre, my husband has a secret family. Bin him. Spiteful mum is making our lives hell. Bin her. I left my nasty ex, but life is bleak. Keep him remaining binned. In Fab Daily, we were dumped by our hubbies for getting fat. Turn the page for their stories and for a male point of view. No, I'd rather not. Nurpal Daliwal, the former husband of Liz Jones, says, putting on weight turns women into dreary bores who only want sex in the dark, even though he's put on weight. Shut the fuck up. Bin him, binner, bin them. Coins time. A magnificent new 24-karat gold coin issued to mark the Platinum Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II. My conspiracy theory, the Queen is already dead, but the coin manufacturers do not want you to know. Coins. This coin, just £39 plus free delivery. The £50 letter today comes from Keith Robinson of Gosport, who says, Boris Johnson has proved he does not have a backbone and instead found the sleazy way out of facing Parliament. Yeah. Queen is in the pocket of big coin. Agreed. Mark Canosis says, I hope that's we were dumped by our hubbies for being fat, now we're dating. I wish. That seems cheap for a Platinum Jubilee coin, doesn't it just? And in the sport, the Rice is right. He's key to Champions League drive. Irons building future around Declan Rice. West Ham want to build their future around Declan Rice as they are regular Champions League football. United are not going to get Brendan Rodgers, says Steve McManaman. And Paul Pogba could have played his last game for Manchester United. The club's £89 million record signing is expected to be sidelined for up to 2 months after injuring his right thigh in training with France on Monday. That would take the World Cup winner into January, when he'd begin talking to other clubs about a move in the summer when his United deal ends. Discussions over a new contract at Old Trafford have been completely shelved, with United's hierarchy fed up of the circus that surrounds him, particularly with his agent Mino Raiola. They are now happy to let the 20-year-old midfielder's contract expire, leaving him out of the team if necessary, and allow him to go as a free Agent. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate, Panic Future. Queen being dead wouldn't stop them. Look how they keep making Diana shit. Yeah, Pogba slipped and injured his wallet, says Gonzo Socialism. Right, that was the Sun. For me, it's a quadruple negative nice. Minus 69, minus 69, minus 69. Delicious mustard, yes. Quadruple negative nice from Slinker a triple negative nice from Red Tick Seed, a septuple negative nice from Panic Future, a septuple negative nice Katie Price Cokeheads from Gonzo Socialism, Heathmore 2401, a triple negative nice Queen's Coins. I'm going to do the roll call in a second, and then it will be a speed round through the Telegraph, especially for Slinker Meyer, who I know enjoys seeing me flail like a maniac. Mark Kenosis gives the Sun minus 69 shark attacks on improperly vetted Adam Smith Institute boat parties. Please, please, please. All right. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on in the roll call. I am the Broken Bottle Boy, of course, a.k.a. Mick Wright. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy, and I would appreciate it. Also in the chat, another TT viewer, Def B, Dr. Fired, Extra More, Gonzo Socialism, Heathmore 2401, Kinu 92, Chronotherms, Mark Kenosis, Morin Skell, Pablo Bonzo, Panic Future, Rich Yolgi, Red Tick Seed, Selinka Maya, 1727, The Neon Lady, and the Research Arena. Thank you all for joining me on this, the Wednesday show. 100% pro flailing mix. This link by hello, Racholgy. How are you? Right, here we go. I reckon, what, Telegraph in 2 minutes? Is it going to be a mess? It'll be a mess, certainly. But is it doable? We've proven it in the past that it is. Boom, and we're off. The Daily Telegraph, front page. Alison Pearson says, Michael Vaughan's cancellation shows we have entered a new Orwellian era. When was the last Orwellian era, Alison? And also, for that matter, stop pointing at everything in the world and saying it's Orwellian. Main story, Oxford owes explanation to Jewish students for Mosley cash. Malala has got married. Elsewhere on that front page, English oaks for Jubilee fall foul. EU rules racist against English oaks, are they? Feeling guilty for flying won't change climate, says Shaps as Johnson heads back to talk. Oh, shut up. France orders over 65s to get booster jabs. 1 minute 28. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the river is what they say about sharks in the Thames. Green leader flies to COP26 to give lecture on emissions. Jab mandate may force 123,000 staff out of the health and social care sector. Duchess's letter not for father's eyes only. That's the claim in the Mail on Sunday case. Malala declares surprise wedding to cricket coach. He's only surprised because she didn't tell you about it, fuckers. I hate Twitch. All the older kids make me speedrun the Telegraph and they shout, "Go, white boy, go," says Mark Gnosis. Bomb deal for bucket lister who mooned at speed camera. The papers are obsessed with that story today. Family kept body at home, spared trial. Public trauma first aid kits could save lives. Female corporal punched teenage recruit. They claim this is banter. Army chief calls for review of tanks after revealing his hearing loss. So fucked up. Lukashenko, nuclear Russia is on my side. Oh, that's not fucked up at all. In the comment section, Judith Wood says, could laughable eco-hypocrites get any more ridiculous? Probably. Fuck you. Full-time MPs entrench the fatal conceit that the state can solve everything, says Madeline Grant, who once dated Lawrence Fox. Jill Kirby says the NHS works with staff, not as patients. Eric Kaufman says we should have one of those mad, stupid, pretend universities here. In the features, will a golden hour bedtime save your life? No is the answer. Alison Pearson gets a full page to be mad on. And in the obits, Pamela Rose and Dean Stockwell. That is the Telegraph. Telegraph in 2 minutes. Broken bottle white boy, says Red Tick Seed. Feeling guilty won't help the climate, but not fucking doing it might help. Yeah, we have those stupid universities here, says Mark Kenosis. We do. Person in the room alert. Person in the room. She has returned. But she has returned. She's on a meeting, though. She's just come upstairs.
On a union meeting that's important.
She's on a union meeting. Solidarity with the union. Coins. We have a Buckingham and NCH. That is true, depending on your favour of dipshit. Yeah, although both of those are actual universities, whereas Barry Weiss is Vanity University is not. and is unlikely to be. It's a grift. Sue me, Barry Weiss. No. Right, now we're going to move on to the Times. Person in the room on job interview with Barry Weiss Uni. Yeah, she's desperate for a job with the Barry Weiss Uni.
Me and Barry have chatted before.
Yeah, and you didn't enjoy it.
No.
Right, the Times. Here we go. We're on to the Times. By the way, if you want to know why there is a picture of Richard Littlejohn hugging Giles Corran, well, why not check out the newsletter? It is one of the most horrifying, but I think one of the best in a while. Brokenbottleboy.substack.com. Pablo Bonzo says there's power in a union. Well, some unions, yeah. That's true. Person in the room on a union call talking about a new union. Coin. The Coin Union. Yes, correct. Research Arena. Do I want to know who Barry Weiss is?
The end of my life got me back from my ex-wife, Barry Weiss. Barry Weiss.
No. Wikipedia. Someone in the chat give TRA a quick explanation of who Barry Weiss is. Right, here we go with the Times. Top of the shop. The 7 items to update your look. Well, it's a scarf and some boots and some sunglasses and all that shit. Just buy things. That's the rule. Consumerism is king. On the right-hand side, Adam Bolton. Why I'm leaving Sky News. I don't understand why Adam Bolton, the biggest of the Sky News commentators, doesn't simply eat all the others. Mark Canosis says, to be honest, all those IDW dipshits deserve nothing more than to have to deal with Kathleen Stock's actual writing. Main story, Brazen Cox accused of flouting Commons rules. Not as exciting as it sounds when I say it out loud because it's Cox, C-O-X. Today's episode of the show titled Naked Cox. On the right-hand side of the front page, 2 Jags to no Jags as Prescott goes green. He doesn't have a car anymore. Inside the paper, there's going to be more Agatha Christie stuff once the copyright ends. The headline of their story about Kathleen Stock joining the pretend University of Austin in Texas is exiled academic joins Free Speech College. Where is she exiled from? She's not moving to America, she's not exiled from the UK, and she resigned from her job. Jesus. Hello, SK the Crusader. How are you doing? Controversy chasing SK the Crusader there. No, not really. But exciting news from SK's stream as kimono wearing, fox killing, government scourge Jolyon Mohan is going to be on SK's stream, which is exciting news and a good get, actually. Dr. Plaza says, want to become famous? Buy follows and viewers on Big Follows. No, thank you. Gonzo Socialism gives a link. New York Times' Barry Weiss melts down on Joe Rogan's show. Neon Lady, Barry Weiss quit her job at the New York Times last year because she wanted to be cancelled. Now she plays the victim as a far-right adjacent grifter. Correct. Ironically, she became prominent in her university days trying to get pro-Palestine academics fired in extremely underhanded ways. Correct. Bog Fellows, says Slinkermeyer. Here is a picture of some cute puppies. Genuinely puppies. Big Follows. The injured caver joke with rescuers. Tory MP paid by betting group spoke out on gambling reforms. No shit. That's just there's no confusion there. That's just corruption. Mark Canosis, Barry Weiss, also the world's straightest bisexual. Yeah, Panic Future, exactly the same thing Kathleen Stock is doing. And Suzanne Moore did. Barry Weiss is a female Andy Ingo. Yes. Judge asks for a psychiatrist in killing trial to be investigated. The judge has asked prosecutors to investigate an eminent psychiatrist over concerns about a report he prepared about a man who beheaded his mother. Dr. David Ho, who has been given evidence for the prosecution in a series of criminal trials, has been accused of failures in his assessment of Ernest Grudzer. The ruling could lead to appeals in other cases in which he is given evidence. Jesus. This one's for you, Mum, says Rashford as he picks up his MBE. What a lovely man he is. Adam Bolton to bow out after 33 years at Sky News. I expect he won't fuck off entirely. Death threat sent to teacher accused of attacking horse. By horses? Who knows? Pablo Bonzo, no. The straightest bisexual is the lead singer of Suede, Brett Anderson. Quentin Letts is awful. Forcing NHS staff to be jabbed will drive out 73,000, Javid told. Now, I know we've talked about this a lot, about how They really misreport employment tribunals. And here's another one. Headline on this. Tesco pays hostage employee £50,000. And then they begin by saying, a 6-foot Tesco worker ridiculed for being trapped in a room by a pregnant female boss 8 inches shorter has received £50,000 for sex discrimination. An employment tribunal ruled that King was a victim of sex discrimination as his bosses refused to take his complaint seriously because of the difference in size. It ordered Tesco to pay him £47,690 in compensation, including £31,000 for injury to feelings. Much further down in the story, you discover that when this man was an employee of the prison service, he was actually held hostage and he has PTSD. But of course they don't lead on that. They lead on, isn't it funny that he, essentially implying it's funny and that it was just silly that he complained. Mark Canosis, I'm convinced Placebo's Nancy Boy was a dig at Brett Anderson. I wouldn't be surprised. The boss at his expressive, explosive best is the review of the new release of Bruce Springsteen's The Legendary 1979 No Nukes concerts. I will watch that. I'm a cliche. Slinkermeyer says, fuck these employment tribunal articles. Agreed. Pablo Bonzo, can't remember the quote in the NME, but he said something along the lines of, I'm bisexual. I've never slept with or kissed a man, but I've thought about it. Yes. It is basically that, yeah. ISIS bride's husband tells of life together. Shamim Begum's jihadist husband has spoken warmly about their beautiful life in the Islamic State. That's really helpful for her, isn't it? Grilling Pirate Pete, the media makes fun of a man's pain. Shocking, that has never happened before. Hello, hello GPP, how are you? Former public schoolboy held in immigration raid. A 41-year-old man educated at public school has been arrested in a dawn raid. More than a year after being found with Albanian migrants in the boot of his car as he returned from what he claimed was a romantic break. Well, who hasn't had a romantic break where they've stuffed some desperate people into the boot of their car? Heathmore 2401, you can be bi in that circumstance. That is true. Mark Canosis, but with him it definitely had the whiff of appropriation. Yeah, there was a lot of appropriative stuff around that at that time. If you are banking on a goose for Christmas, you may be stuffed. Families hoping to bag a goose this Christmas cannot get hold of a turkey, may be disappointed. Suppliers have warned there are not enough geese to go round. Oh God, the horror, the horror. Fans of Wicked have started a petition to prevent James Corden being cast in the film. Yeah, basically, Brett Anderson was doing a rerun of the 70s Bowie thing. Chronotherm, it's almost as if labels on sexuality are complex. Agreed. A horrific story about a boy aged 10 who was mauled to death by a dog. Covered horribly a lot of places in here. Tories must decide if they care about reality, says Daniel Finkelstein, as if he does. Roger Boys, the unfortunately named Roger Boys, says, from Peace Prize winner to warrior ruler. He's writing about the Ethiopian PM, Abiy Ahmed's aim to control the Horn of Africa. Stopping James Corden from doing anything is a noble cause and deserves our support, says Red Tick Seed. Gonzo Socialism, hoping to bang a goose. Well, bag a goose. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who are hoping to bang a goose too. Time to reform this shabby House of Lords, says Alice Thompson. She's right, but not for the right reasons. In the birthdays today, Baroness Ruth Davidson of London Links, the leader of the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party in the Scottish Parliament until May 2021, and an MSP for Edinburgh Central until May 2021. She's 43. Catherine Arnold, the Master of St Edmund's College, Cambridge, UK Ambassador to Mongolia until 2018, is 43. Hugh Bonneville, the actor, 58. Redacted. Deborah Cameron, Rupert Murdoch, Professor of Language and Communication. Rupert Murdoch, Professor of Language and Communication, is 63. Terence Davis, filmmaker, Distant Voices, Still Lives, The House of Mirth, 2076. Taron Egerton, the actor, is 32. Roland Emmerich, the filmmaker, and known for Independence Day, amongst other things, is 66. Nigel Evans, Conservative MP for the Ribble Valley and the Deputy Speaker, is 64. David Flood, Music director, organist and master of choristers at Canterbury Cathedral is 66. Neil Gaiman is 61. Professor Martin Green, Chief Executive of Care England, 62. George Herbert, Earl of Carnarvon, owner of Highclere Castle, 65. Eddie Irvine, the Formula 1 racing driver until 2002, 56. Robert Jones, rugby union player for Wales until 1995, 56. Jens Lehmann, the goalkeeper for Arsenal until 2008, and then again in 2011, and Germany goalkeeper from 1998 to 2008 is 52. Horatio Paganini, Pagani, founder of the supercar company Pagani Automobili, is 66. Admiral Sir Tony Radakin, the Chief of the Defence Staff from November 30th, First Sea Lord and Chief of the Naval Staff till November 2021, is 56. John Rahm, the golfer, world golf rank #1, is 27. Sir Tim Rice, the lyricist, Jesus Christ Superstar, the Lion King, etc., is 77. Baroness Maeve Sherlock, the opposition whip and opposition spokeswoman on work and pensions in the House of Lords, is 61. And Sam Simons, the rugby union player for Exeter Chiefs and England, is 27. In 1928, Hirohito was enthroned as the 124th Emperor of Japan in an imperial line dating to 660 BC. He reigned until his death in 1989, which is just incredibly baffling that he was not deposed. And the last word goes to Beatrix Potter in this column. From her journal in 1896. I remember I used to half believe in the holy play with fairies when I was a child. What heaven can be more real than to retain the spirit world of childhood, tempered and balanced by knowledge and common sense? Pablo Bonzo, caring about Corden getting hired in crap films says more about someone's taste in movies than anything else. How can he ruin stuff that's already rubbish? Grilling Pirate Pete, I am far from a fan of James, but demanding he not be hired implies you have some entitled right to dictate about a property you don't own. Chronotherm, I'm the Pol Pot Emeritus Professor for Culture Exchanges. Grilling, happy birthday Neil Gaiman, happy birthday to Roland Emmerich, creator of the finest disaster movie nonsense. Slinker Meyer says, every time I hear James Corden, I remember the acquaintance of mine that called him a cunt to his face on a film set. More context on that. Mark Knossos, I like to pretend the Horn of Africa is a ceremonial artifact, sort of a Maltese falcon thing. That would be great. Right. C122H122 had a Twitter fight with Neil Gaiman. It's easily done. Putin accused of pulling strings in border conflict. That is in Poland. Cold War base to become hypersonic missile HQ. That's in Germany. That's in Mainz, Castell. Republican run scared from Trump bashing past. That is millionaire author J.D. Vance. He's a twat. Red Planet source Heinz develops Martian ketchup. That's from yesterday. Netflix hit by stream of libel lawsuits over documentaries, but also over stuff like Queen's Gambit. Firefighters called out to rescue a kangaroo from a roof of a house were hesitant to respond, thinking it had to be a prank, but they found the animal stuck on the roof in Mount Isa, northwest Queensland. They were able to coax it to the lower section of the roof from where it jumped to safety. How the kangaroo managed to get on the roof remains a mystery. We are pro the stunt kangaroo. Corden asked Slinker's friend what his young cool friends thought, and he said they think you're he said they think you're a cunt. Gail Neyman says Red Tick Seed. Pablo Bonzo, who ruined Lost in the Woods, who ruined Cats, like blaming a bad decorator for ruining a condemned building. Well, fair dues. JD Vance is rich because of Peter Thiel. Yeah. End of an era as GE is broken up. Boo-hoo. Times 2. Is it a blanket? Is it a shawl? No, it's a super scarf. It's just literally a very long scarf. Coins, more coins. Coins. The world's first gold 1/8 sovereign in tribute to all those who served Britain during the Second World War. It's inspired by the 1939 to 49 war medal, which I have here on my great-granddad's medals. Anyway, they want to charge you £69 for this 1/8 sovereign. There is the war nonce, war Christmas coin. Anyway, I have a real 1939 to 45 war medal there, so I don't need to buy their pretend coin. Any and all Trilby Workers' Party episodes about JD Vance are recommended. Thank you for the recommendation. Trillbilly Workers' Party episodes about JD Vance are recommended. Thank you for that, Mark. Panic Future. I'm going to celebrate tomorrow by sitting myself indoors and playing Battlefield 1 exclusively as the Germans, says Panic Future. Red 16. Hell yeah, Mick. Steal that Valor. I don't wear them. Just to be clear, I don't wear them. I just keep them on my desk. Because he died a couple of years before I was born, so I never got to meet him, but I do have his letters, and I have his medals. The obituary, Keith Bradshaw, administrator who, as first Australian to take charge of the Marylebone Cricket Club champion 2020 and crossed Sir John Major. He has died aged 58. He died of multiple myeloma, which is horrible. No, I do not. I don't have any outfits they go with. Andrew McDonnell, first chief executive of the Watchdog set up after the MP expenses scandal, whose new rules faced unrelenting hostility, has died. He was at 59. And Dean Stockwell, the excellent Al in Quantum Leap, as well as an incredible actor in films such as Paris, Texas, has died. He was 85. The Research Arena will be doing a stream about Jewish Zionist children's book at 6 o'clock tonight. Do tune in for that, people. Red Seed, breaking news. Mick wears the medals and nothing else when no one is looking. Filth. Is this what our boys died for? 100% what they died for. Mark Canosis, I kept my grandfather's medals on my desk too, along with the skull of a Japanese soldier that gave me. Not really, but that was a very common thing in the US in the 50s and 60s. Jesus. Pablo Bonzo, saying that about Gaiman, I'm loving the audible adaptation of Sandman halfway through Act 2. He's done some amazing stuff. Man doth protest too much. Anyway, you get they're trying to sell you a Woolrich Melange Contrast Loden coat for £175. And in the sports, Villa to move for Gerrard. Club want Rangers manager in place next week. Raducanu, I'm not distracted, and more heads roll at Yorkshire, though not literally. Pablo Bonzo on Neil Gaiman. He's a talented, self-obsessed bore. Hence why he married Amanda Palmer. Less talented, equally self-obsessed. That was the Times. Give me your scores. Thank you very much. Red Tick Seed gives the Times a -69.69. It's the double negative nice. Heathmore 2401 with a double negative nice war coins. Slinkermeyer double negative nice sharks in the Thames. Boop, boop, boop. And Panic Future triple negative nice. Gonzo Socialism triple negative nice. Barry Wise meltdowns. And finally, Amanda Palmer, who doesn't pay her ban. Yeah, exactly. I'm no fan of Amanda Palmer. Right, so it is the Daily Mail, and it is one of the most Daily Mail of Daily Mail front pages in a while. Daily Mail, Tory sleaze latest after Mail expose 3 new Cox bombshells, which sounds like a pretty good sex toy. Tawdry truth about the dishonourable member for the Virgin Islands. The dishonourable member of for the Virgin Islands versus the honourable Chad member for the... I can't... Anyway, whatever. Amanda Palmer, who broke up with Neil Gaiman via Patreon. Yeah, though I think they got back together. Main story, Fury grows over raid on historic UK insurer. It's one of the classic tabloid moves here where the Daily Mail says Fury grows, but it's the one making the Fury grow. Daily Mail, Fury grows, obscure spin-off. Slinkermeyer, such a shame Amanda Palmer turned out to be such a dick. I saw Dresden Dolls a few times as a teenager and they're amazing. The Virgin Islands versus the Chad Antilles, says Coronatherm, making that joke work in a way I couldn't. On the right-hand side, Glorious Gaga's Gucci Glamour. Inside the paper, more pictures from that, and Diana Ross is going to play Glasto, which I hate when people call it that, but there you go. There's 2 pages on the Meghan court case, of course. New Cox bombshells is the headline that they put on their story. That that Jeffrey Cox took a second trip to the Caribbean, forced to declare conflict after voting against tax haven reforms. Now he's ordered to spend more time in the Commons. And Daniel Kaczynski is a consultant for a New York-based corporation that pays him £36,000 salary. It's a mining company, and he has been involved in talking to ministers in Mongolia, where he's a trade envoy, about mining, but he says the two aren't connected. Pablo Bonzo about the Patreon thing. Unsubscribing due to irreconcilable differences. 1 star. Where do you stand on Cox being leaked to distract from Johnson? 100% believe that's the case. Yes. Tawdry truth about the dishonourable member for the Virgin Islands is the headline there. And of course Starmer, who is just as guilty of all sorts of stuff, including many dodgy donors. Hypocrite Starmer was paid thousands for advice. They talk about Malala's wedding. Malala weds 9 years after shooting horror. They are, of course, talking about BBC stars cashing in from jobs on the side, which, you know, to be honest, yeah, I'm not in favour of. Shameful betrayal of the thrifty by bosses who should know better, is what Alex Brummer says about the potential purchasing of Liverpool Victoria LV, which was started to help the poor and is now being... BBC stars don't write laws, though. Small difference. No, I'm not comparing... The two stories shouldn't really be connected, but there is some real dodginess with news reporters and news presenters going and doing coining it in from companies, because it does affect their coverage. Pablo Bonzo, Cox, member, Johnson, leaks, sleaze. This week has been a good week for tabloid headline writers. Yeah. Slump in life expectancy set UK back by a decade. Why did the life expectancy slump? Well, it's called austerity, but of course the Daily Mail doesn't want to talk about that. Sarah Vine, honestly, her column is so mental, but here's the most mental part of it. She's writing about anti-vaxxers, and she says, take your pick. The Queen is a lizard, the CIA invented AIDS, Prince Charles is a vampire. Any or all of these things could theoretically be true, but the overwhelming likelihood is that they are not. No, none of those things could theoretically be true unless you actually believe in vampires or, you know, things that David Icke have said. Oh yeah, thanks Panic Future. Yeah, I was just clarifying. If Boris thinks he can extricate his party from sleaze with easy charm, disaster waits, says Stephen Glover, the most zombie-looking motherfucker in the British media. Old masters framed for sins of the ancient past, as the National Gallery links many of its greatest paintings very tenuously with the slave trade, a top historian laments. Who is this top historian? Why, it's A.N. Wilson, top historian, my arse. No man is a hero to his valet, certainly not Edward the 8th. I mean, I don't think we needed to be told that Edward the 8th was a piece of shit. Desperate for a child, top novelist Amanda was devastated when years of IVF failed, but in a provocative confession she hopes will bring comfort to women like her. She says, why, I'm glad I could never be a mum. Okay, well, it's, you know, whatever. Suspended teacher who kicked a horse. More on that. Right, what is... November 10th, 2021, from the Daily Mail archive, November 10th, 1938. Anti-Jewish rioting broke out in Berlin and Munich last night and was still in progress in the latter at 3 a.m. today. This is what the Daily Mail wrote about Kristallnacht. The rioting and smashing of Jewish shops was watched by enthusiastic crowds. You'd think that they wouldn't reprint this, wouldn't you? November 10th, 1960, the Daily Mail wrote, President-elect John Kennedy claimed victory today with a glint of tears in his eyes and a crack of emotion in his voice. Kennedy is going to the White House as America's youngest elected president. He is 42, as its first Roman Catholic president, as its first president who is the son of this century. Happy birthday to Taron Egerton, who is 32. to Sir Tim Rice, who's 77. Also born on this day, Brittany Murphy, 1977 to 2009. And Sir Jacob Epstein, 1880 to 1959, the New York-born British sculptor, finished busts of Princess Margaret and the Archbishop of Canterbury just before his death at 78. He designed Oscar Wilde's tomb in Paris. US poet Ezra Pound said, Epstein is a great sculptor. I wish he would wash. While fellow sculptor Eric Gill said he was quite mad about sex. Imagine Eric Gill saying that about you. Dog fucker Eric Gill. Daily Mail did support the brown shirts, exactly. Among the crowd was the Mail's Berlin correspondent. Daily Mail basically celebrating it. Red Tixie wouldn't be shocked if they reprinted the hurrah for the black shirts article now. Yeah, poor Brittany Murphy, I know, that was a horrible thing. The Daily Mail also misreports that employment tribunal thing. In the TV, pick of the day is Life at 50 Degrees C. The TV reviews, Great British Bake Off gets 4 stars. What We Do in the Shadows gets 4 stars. Right. In the cartoons. Odie and Garfield are hanging out in Chloe & Co. Chloe and Amanda are out on a date. And drinking. And in Fred Bassett and his owners are gardening, and Fred digs a hole. Good boy. Okay, today's poem is horrendous. Let's go for it. Today's poem by Lindsay Hartgroves of Launceston, Cornwall. They've all streamed into Glasgow in their jet black 4x4s. The folks we've selected to make plans for you and yours. Campaigners, politicians, presidents, leaders and aides. All here to pledge their strong support where promises are made. All countries represented here are ready to agree that bringing down emissions is their top priority. Their greenhouse gases must reduce. All delegates agree, but a few will commit far enough and by enough degrees. The most outspoken of them give impassioned, wordy speeches invoking Winston Churchill. We shall fight them on the beaches, and telling of the consequences if no changes are made, the rising of sea levels, flooding, droughts and tidal waves. I'm sure that as the days go by, the messages will get stronger, and as more delegates arrive, the speeches will get longer. But speeches, when all said and done, are just streams of hot air, and something that this conference is trying to forswear. So while the worthy delegates are sampling Scottish fare, haggis and deep-fried Mars bars are such treats beyond compare. Let's hope that all the pledges will bring strong and firm resolve to bring a halt to climate change and save our troubled globe. And the limerick today comes from Ivan S. Thomas of Newport in the Isle of Wight. A shortage of circuses clowning is down to political frowning. Clowns were such fun, but at least we're not done with the Joker at number 10 Downing. Oh, God. Right, the straight to the point letters today. Jay Wormsley regularly writes into the Mail in this section. Owen Patterson still has a House of Commons pass. Boris might as well leave the keys to number 10 under the mat. Philip Cotton says, it's taken the Mayor of Calais to point out our benefit system is a magnet to migrants. G.S. Stridham of Feltham says, if that's all she seems to do, Cressida Dick's title should be Chief Apologising Officer. D. Smith says, Prince Charles must have been relieved that a judge has told a 41-year-old man that the bank of mum and dad is shut. Oh, shut up. He still gets money from his mum. Laurie Yarham says, is it necessary for Emmerdale and Coronation Street to hold forth on climate issues? Soaps are surely intended to entertain. Stan Jonas of Bognor Regis says, registering a death, I was asked, and what was your mother-in-law's gender? Surely this is woke gone mad. Rosemary Neat says, there's more than one long-time match on Blind Date. My son Michael met his wife on the Australian version, and they will celebrate 30 years of marriage in February. Jack Cowan of Bushy says, Strictly is wonderful, but why don't they use traditional music for the tango and waltzer? And Vincent Hefter, a frequent correspondent again, what do you mean Jerry Hall wouldn't recognise an antique? She married one! Going back in time to kill the person who invented the printing press. Today's recipe is marmalade and whiskey bread and butter pudding. I mean, it looks fine. And in the sport, green light for London Grand Prix. New circuit in East End to give Britain a second Formula 1 race. Johnny Bairstow to open up as England eye World Cup final. And charity gets shirty over Premier League's snub. Pressure was growing on the Premier League last night to perform a U-turn and allow their clubs to change strips to support a homeless charity. That is the Daily Mail. Give me your scores. For me, it's a quadruple negative. Nice. That's minus 69, minus 69, minus 69. Anglicane says Daily Ale is better than Daily Mail. Agreed. Slink and Meyer in with a quadruple negative. Nice. Remember, if you can, subscribe for free to the newsletter. I'd really appreciate it. If you like it, you can always upgrade. And if you want to support this show, but you don't want to make the commitment of subscribing here on Twitch, just go to the Paper Fund. Paper Fund is paypal.me/conquest of the useless and throw some coins in. And if you tell me what magazine you want to feature in the magazine special, I'll do that for you. Neon Lady says quadruple negative, nice, masks off. And Heathmore says septuple negative, nice, awful, awful poems. I don't know. I'm missing what that is. Minus the printing press says C122H122. Triple negative nice from Red Tick Seed and Slinkermeyer in with the classic quadruple negative nice. I will see you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you for joining me for today's speedily done 45-minute stripping your bed was a bad idea. Oh dear, yeah. Yeah, thank you for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, rewatching this, or watching it for the first time, please like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps. Pablo Bonzo says, saw an article on 5th anniversary of Blind Date. They were interviewing a couple who'd gotten married as a success. Didn't point out that one success story kind of shows the program was a failure. Yeah. Cheers, Heathmore. Thank you, Recursive Rosie. Dan Jones, I'm sad I missed the Sarah Viner horror column. Well, do tune back in, Dan. Tune back in on YouTube and you will get it. Like I say, like, comment and subscribe on YouTube. It does help. See you tomorrow at 1. Goodbye all.